Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us again on another Almost Brothers podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking with a lifelong friend. We grew up together. We played ball together. We laughed together. It's been a great journey knowing this man, Sir Richard Marks. It's going to be awesome having him on today. Coming up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Almost Brothers podcast with your host, Michael.
And I'm Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, how's it going?
Man, it's going great.
You aren't as dressed up as you usually are.
No, I'm not. Not today.
That's okay. I still like it. Still super handsome, just killing it right now.
You're crazy.
You don't know him as well as I do, but this is one of my buddies that I grew up with. I'm super excited to have him on. We've always been really close because we've kind of done the same things, growing up. So this is a lifelong friend. As long as I can remember, he's been a good friend of mine. But Richard Marks, how's it going, Richard?
Oh man, I'm walking on sunshine. Can't complain, dude. It's good to hear your voice, man. I listened to the last couple of episodes, you with the youth on it, and the one that you guys talking about tithing and stuff like that, and the whole time I'm like, man, let me see this big head dude, man. And, so it's good to see your voice, to hear your voice, and I can't wait to link up with you and Jamie sometime soon, my guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. The last time you were down preaching at Revive in Malden, man, I just missed you. We were in Branson on vacation.
Yeah, y'all were in Branson. You came to we switched places.
Yeah, that's
and so it just seems like we keep ducking and dodging each other, man. But one day the planets are gonna align and we're gonna link up and then cut up where we left, start off where we started.
Oh yeah.
Well, from where we started. You get it. You know what I'm saying? Just edit that part out.
You know what I'm saying.
Man, I got to be there that morning though, man, and he brought that fire.
Man, dude, it's crazy. It's just normally, like, coming into new places, like I'm just an energizing guy, just here, that's just who I am. But normally when I come into different places, I'm a little bit more reserved because some people can get run off, by people getting really excited. But I'm like, man, this is my hometown, and I know great things happen in Revive, and I was just around my family, folks that I grew up with, and I'm like, shoot, I already know y'all, man. Let's have some fun, and it was just a great time to spend with everybody. I loved every second of it, man.
Oh yeah, and it was hold up, let me see if I remember, because I went back and watched it afterwards. It was a BA thermostat, was that right?
Yep, be a thermostat. Yeah, not a thermometer. Yeah, right. Yep. You said it.
That's awesome, man. And I was so mad when because we were already in Branson, and Mike texted me and he said, "Hey, Richard's going to be preaching tomorrow." I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding! I'm 5 miles down from where he's at, and he's 5 miles down from where I was from. So.
Bro, I know. But let me tell you what this bum did. Yeah, I said it. I hope he's listening too, and so I hope he will listen. So I'm minding my business. I sneak in to Malden and kind of hanging out with the fam, and I hadn't been to the Boo Hill Youth Museum, man, since probably Michael, me and you went. We were little, and so I'm like, man, I would love to have these girls, my girls go and check it out, and man, it was so nostalgic, and man, I love that place. That is a hidden gem, It's just that whole area is the Boo Hill Youth Museum. But anyway, I'm there, and some people that I was a part of the church with, man, they were there, and I was hugging them. I mean, I ain't seen them, and and some of them 10 years, and so we was chopping it up back and forth on Facebook, and then Michael. Not Michael, I'm sorry. Mike, yeah. I mean, it's big old head, go mess around, and like, oh, you in town? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, so you preaching? You know, you want to preach tomorrow? And so I'm thinking he's joking because it's Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And my guy was like, nah, fam, I'm for real. And you know, and you know, ready in season, out of season. So I hunker myself in one of the rooms in Malden, and I'm like, all right, God, give me some. And he spoke to all of us, and we had a fantastic time, man. So loved
That's
it.
right.
He likes doing that. Oh, Vip.
I know, man. Curveball. Like, dang, dude, give it. I hope God, man, talked to you a little earlier. Like, man.
Yeah.
Bro, like, for real. I like, dang, God procrastinating with you. Like, I know he an old time guy, but I didn't think he was doing CP time, man.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't want a prepared sermon. He wants that fresh bread.
Man.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, he gonna mess around and get the right one up there, and they're gonna say something crazy.
Man, I'm telling you, he got me one morning. It was on a Sunday morning. I guess he wasn't feeling well, so he just texted me, "You're up." Like, what do you mean? He's like,
he got you.
Yeah, like I'm gonna need you to preach in an hour. Like, oh,
he got you with the okie doke.
Oh man, so I had to like literally jump out of bed, shower, and get up there and start studying and getting. But yeah, like you said, man, in season and out of season, dude. But
come on, man.
But yeah, I just I wanted to talk kind of about just everything that you've been involved in, man. You're the former children's pastor at Renewal Church and former KAA1 lead director at Kids Across America, and former pastor at New Beginnings, and right now you're director of operations at the Retreat Center, right?
Yeah, yep, at Windermere. It's a Baptist Conference Center, campus conference center out here.
Okay, so what does that entail? What do y'all do?
And so it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a Christian based retreat, camp and conference center. So we get from sometimes we do our own camps, like and the camp is just like what you experience, what it is, just a camp, got your kids running around, and we do all the programming and stuff. And we also do our own retreats. We do a mother father, a mother daughter, father son, men's, women's, and a couples retreat. And so we run those, but we're also facilitators too. So let's say you wanted to come and you wanted to bring your youth group up here, and they're like, yo, what can you do for us? And we were like, well, we got this cabin and this cabin. We got this facility and this facility. We got these activities. So make your schedule. We'll make sure everything is staffed and ready to go for you. So, so it's a mix between a hotel and, in a camp. And so people come out here to do, camps or retreats or family reunions, or they just want to come down and chill on the dock and do some fishing and rolling out. So, yeah, so it's a good melting pot full of things, my man.
Oh man, that's awesome. That sounds like I don't do the fishing now. Come on, like I don't do that. But man,
I can be from Malden, not fish, man. You tripping, man?
I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
I fish.
Yeah.
I'm from the end, and I fish, man. You got to get your weight up, bro.
I can't, dude. I can't do it. Worms and no, not for me. Stuff will get under my nails. I can't have that.
Wow. Yeah, I hear you. Under my nails.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. That sounds like an awesome place, and you've kind of had your hand in a lot of different things, man. It's awesome to see. I see it on Facebook, because like you said earlier, we haven't really met up in a while. It's been some years.
Yeah,
man, to be able to see God use you in so many different ways, but to touch so many different people is awesome. Especially the young people, man. I see you working with them a lot.
Yeah, man. And Mike, we grew up, what I'm saying, very, very similar. And man, and the trials and everything that we faced, my guy. And man, it's just nothing but the sovereignty of God, my man. Just for both of us, period, from our peers and from kind of like from what we saw and everything, God just protected us up from a lot, just from becoming of what we saw, man. And man, it's all him, dude. Whenever I left Malden and attended SBU, man, I was a counselor at the camp. I ended up being a director at several years later at Kids Across America camps. And from there, I keep saying, man, that's where I learned how to walk. Dude, I was just around, hundreds of Christian folks that's my age, of that looked like me and experienced the same stuff I was experiencing, man. But they straight on fire, and they weren't cornball Christians. They wasn't like, again, I'm not knocking anybody, I'm not knocking our elders, our 50 plus folks, because if it weren't for them discipling us, there won't be us, but it's great to see folks that's, 19, 20 years old of quoting scripture, and also can do the Harlem Shake at the same time. I'm like, man, like real, like, this real. And I got to just link up with those folks. And alongside of that, man, the very first time I saw a black man madly in love with God, and man, it's a legitimate, stable family unit. Like the very first time I saw that, I was 19, being a counselor at camp, and I'm like, yo, like these Uncle Phils, like they actually exist, like these real, and anyway, so I didn't understand what discipleship was at that time. And I just saw them, hanging out with their kids, hanging out with their wives, and cooking me food and challenging me. And I'm like, man, I want more of it. So I approached one of these men, Ricky Jimerson. I'm like, man, can you show me how to do this stuff? And so pretty much what I was doing, I was asking for discipleship, and he did, dude. And from there, man, God just catapulted me, man, to an intimate relationship with him. And so, man, dude, yeah, God has just kept me, you know?
Yeah. And it's like you said, man, to see the younger generation, it really is a different perspective, because, like you said, the older generation have taught us, but this is what I tell my youth is this younger youth generation is the one that directs culture and where we're going.
Yeah, that's good. You spot on right there, man. And again, I'm not insulting anything with the OGs, because again, man, they're OGs. Like right now, the guy who disciples me, Tim Huddleston, I call him my pop. He's in his late 50s. And mid 50s, late 50s anyway. But man, this dude, he scooped me up and kind of tell me what's the deal. But dude, it was nothing like seeing folks that's my age. Because then, whenever I saw it, I'm like, yo, I can do it too. But don't get me wrong, like it wasn't the normal. Like, it was like a bunch of little anomalies, just scattered around every place. But you look hard enough, and I mean, God give you the eyes to see them, and you saw it, and we had a very organic relationship, man. And they just challenged me, I'll get out. And so, kids, if y'all listening, man, they out there. You just got to look for them and stay planted while you're looking, and just living life anyway. But yeah, ain't nothing like it, man.
Well, you do. That's right in line with that first question I had for you. Since you've been working with youth for quite a while now, what do you find like most effective in reaching some of these kids that have like a lot of walls built up, or they've went through some severe hurts or some things?
Yeah.
Man? Like what do you find like most effective in dealing with that kind of situation?
Gotcha. And so here's the deal, like with youth, I think a lot of people, like that's like in youth ministry or just in ministry period, of course you're dealing with people. I think it's really easy to think that like, yo, their behavior and everything is going to change in a day or whatever. I think a lot of times dealing with ministry and dealing with youth, just dealing with people, period. A lot of people look at it as a sprint, and it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Right. Discipleship is two things. It's not only truth transference, but it's life transference. Like it's that life on life type deal. And so like all of these walls weren't built in a day, so they're not going to be destroyed within the day too. It takes time. Mm-hmm. It's a chipper. You got to keep going and keep going and keep going and be disciplined and be like, yo, I'm going to address these issues. But at the same time too, like I'm going to do it within underneath the umbrella of like, we go keep this relationship real and organic, y'all know, sometimes you get these youth guys or these young adult guys or just these guys, period. And I'm like, yo, all right, let me do my best to identify with the youth by becoming a youth, Mm-hmm. And I'm like, nah, fam, like that's gone. I'm no longer, a knuckleheaded 15-year-old that's outscoring Michael Simmons every time that we go on the basketball court. Like, I'm not that guy no more.
Oh, lies.
I had to throw that out there. I have to throw that out there. No, but for real though, it's like I'm not that guy, and so and a lot of the reasons, stuff just don't work is because people are going outside of who God had called them to be. Like I listen to what I listen to. I like what I like. I do what I do. But I need to trust that the Holy Spirit is softening your heart and in creating a relationship with us. And as God is creating that relationship, I just need to cultivate that relationship. Like Holy Spirit already built the bridge. I just got to make sure the bridge is still well and maintained and doing what I'm supposed to be doing and listening to God to make sure that bridge between me and you are right there.
Yeah.
And then from there, dude, man, and being intentional with the relationship and those tough questions and not being scared off or even whenever you get annoyed, whatever, just still staying in there and reaching out to them. And so, yeah, man. And on top of all of that and I learned this by dealing with, the youth in Memphis, man, like these dudes they experienced some trauma, right. I'm not belittling anybody's trauma, but Lord have mercy, whenever you get a 13-year-old girl, who's been sexually abused and experiencing, poverty and all of the stuff they got to experience with poverty and stuff like that, man. I mean, the laundry list goes on. Like, you got to realize hurt people, right. And so with that, man, we can't put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. Like, if I'm around the youth and I'm like, they cussing all the time, I can't be like, yo, stop cussing. Like, man, I'm just doing behavior modification. You got to go on to the big deals. Like, yo, like, why are these the only words that y'all using? Or you quick to get mad. Like, why you get mad so fast? Like, well, now there's an anger issue. Maybe, I mean, what's the underlying reasoning?
Right.
And you can only get that by being a marathon runner and just being in that bad boy. So, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot, but you get what I'm saying.
That's
like,
good.
So
that's very good.
To answer your question, man. I mean, it's just just being a relationship there and trusting that the Holy Spirit is right there and doing whatever you can to make sure that God is moving through you and man, and you tackling the underlying issues instead of just doing a bunch of behavior modification. Because once they're out from underneath your care, they're gonna go buck wild again. Right. So anyway.
And that's good, man. Talk, longevity, man. That's what I've had. I've had leaders help with the youth, and they don't understand why these youth aren't opening up with them. It's like, well, you've got to show them that you're going to be there for them for the long haul. That you're not just in and out of their life. That man, you're in it for the long road, and that you're there for them, and that's what's going to break those walls down. So that's really good, man. I think you're right on point with that. And I want to segue and let's talk about some of this music that you and your kiddos have been doing. Which I wanted to get you to send me a little clip, and I was going to play it on here, but that's some funny stuff, man. Are y'all putting that out like somewhere for us to get it?
Oh man, just with Facebook. The crazy thing is, man, like because of those little couple of videos that we sent, man, I can't tell you how many people have been calling and messaging, being like, yo, like throw some more out there. And in fact, man, it's funny. My old worship pastor, my current worship pastor gave me a call yesterday. And he was like, hey, yo, next month, I want you to do the announcements like that with your daughter. Like, so I'm going to throw you out announcements and I need y'all to write a rap. And so we can perform announcements in kid rap form. And I'm like, man, y'all a bunch of goofballs, man. But I told Maggie like, yo, where the mic at? So I got look him, I'm saying, out there, I'm saying, ready to freestyle out there on them.
Ready to get it.
But yeah, but speaking with that, man, like it's crazy. I know on surface it just looks like a video, but so the Marks household, man, we're here and you guys know, man, like it's just so much negativity that's going on right now. And man, just to be very specific and not just say like negativity, because I think, positive energy and negative energy is just being so wildly popular. Like, forget that there's a bunch of evil that's going on,
Right, yeah.
out there, man, and a bunch of things that's going against God's plans, and which is unfortunate. Like, a bunch of Christians are pledging their allegiance to one side or the other.
Yeah.
They're pledging their first allegiance, And so I'm seeing all of these arguing and bickering, and I'm seeing that within the saints. And people need to smile. People need to have a good time, dude. And not in my way of addressing, at least our families is addressing all of this division is man, just to have fun and laugh and smile. I think we forget that. And so and Maggie, she loves to do it. She loves singing. She loves rapping. And believe it or not, man, Maggie writes all of that stuff.
Oh, awesome.
she flat out does it. Like, whenever Maggie comes to us, she's like, yo, let's write a rap, daddy. And so me, Heidi, and Maggie and the family, we get together and we start thinking of this stuff. And Maggie, she knows how to rhyme and rhyme well. Her problem is just making sure the timing is down for everything.
Yeah.
And so, we'll say, hey, Maggie, like, for example, one of the lines in the last one was invite people to your shack and offer them a yummy snack. So Maggie was like, hey, how about we bring them to the house and we order them a mouse,
yeah.
And I'm like, well, Maggie, people don't eat mice.
Yeah.
And so so we'll say something like, all right, so Maggie, shack is another way from a house. It's a fun way to say house. So I'm like, what's rhymes with shack? And she goes, snack. It's kind of like it, daddy. I'm like, yeah. And then she'll put it all together and there we go. And so, but anyway, and so we do it, man, just to have, and of course we always bring the gospel in and stuff like that. But man, people just need to stop and people need to be unifiers and Heidi and I with being in an interracial relationship and got biracial kids and you see a lot of racial tension and everything that's going, on right now. And people were saying, all right, Black Lives Matter. People were saying like, all right, all lives matter. People being like, all right, get rid of the Confederate flag. People were like, oh no, I'm staying to it. And like, I'm all right with people having their own ideals. But the fighting, and a lot of it is happening amongst believers.
Yeah.
And the word Jesus says, and the world would know you're my disciples by the love that you have for one another, And so instead of, because at first, man, especially when I was a pastor, I'm attacking it underneath the umbrella of what I'm thinking is bringing unity. And God was like, man, like, you just essentially just trying to just call people out. Like, you're not trying to be unifying. You're not being unifying right here.
Yeah.
And really had to stop and recalibrate some stuff. And man, and these little videos are just super fun. And man, they love to do it. And just a way for us to put the gospel out there. And see, here's the deal. People may be fighting over a statue or fighting over protests and riots and stuff like that. Like, who's going to sit there and argue, over a cute little kid smiling, rapping, saying that, like, hey, here's some suggestions to link up. Like, saints and, people who don't, pre-Christians, what I call them, like all these folks, man, like who's going to argue about that? And I think that's going to be a common denominator, of just really, people seeing that common denominator and having their unity. So anyway.
Man, it's some good stuff too. I love watching it. I know it brings y'all joy, and it brings, I know it's bringing other people joy, because I sit there the whole time and just got a big smile on. I'm like, oh my goodness, because I remember, you freestyling outside of the school building, just random stuff, like trashing people's shoes and like just random stuff like that. So it's like, man, it's so cool to see. But I want to go now into a little story time.
Yeah, please.
I got to see if I remember the story exactly correct.
But I'm worried.
So we worked at McDonald's together.
Oh boy.
Okay, and I believe it was Richard, but he one of our bosses was like, "Hey, I need you to do this, whatever, mop the floor, or something like that." And
I already know where you're going.
he goes, that's not my job. And she goes, and she looks at him with the most serious face and goes, "Hey, it's a teamwork at McDonald's."
Teamwork at McDonald's. Bro, you was that dude. It was you.
Oh, was it? Okay. I couldn't remember if it was me.
Look, I think the whole story. I'll never forget it. And I ain't gonna say the name, but it was that manager. Right. And I remember between me and you and DeMarcus and Quentin and Michael Cowher, like all of us, like it was that one manager that we just didn't vibe with. Like she was just mean as a mug, you know, at least in our minds, in our little, 16, 17, 18-year-old brain. But she was a stickler. Yeah. And I remember, bro, I remember she was asking you to do something, and it was something ridiculous. And again, it was her, and she was her old deal. And you're like, man, why we got to do this? We just blah, whatever. And then he was like, man, well, they need help. And you said something along the lines like, well, they should have done it or blah, blah. And she was like, hey, it's a teamwork at McDonald's.
Yes.
And I'm like, if you don't get your corny Ronald McDonald looking, like, I'm like, bro.
It's like, what does that even mean?
I'm like, if you don't get your commercial talking, it's a teamwork at McDonald's. I mean, she could have easily just said like, hey, yo, just do what I say. Like, all right. It's a teamwork at McDonald's. Man, no, it ain't. I'm trying to get this check.
Man,
good job.
Yeah, you hear in the background just ba 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 ba. Like, what?
Yeah.
This brought to you by Upper Management.
You stupid.
So like every time any of us that were like that were there like see each other, that's like one of the first things we say. It's a teamwork at McDonald's.
Teamwork. Bro, I'm on the between me and DeMarcus and a couple others, man. We on this this little group chat, and I promise you, man, from time to time, it's a teamwork at McDonald's. Bro, that just spread out through the whole damn school.
Yeah.
I mean, bro.
It was so funny.
It's a teamwork at McDonald's.
It's like, what? And she said, I mean, with this most straight, angry face, like
it was sincere, which made it even more corny. You said, ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, I swear, just like straight out of a commercial. It was like
cornball.
Man, that was still to this day like one of the greatest jobs I ever had. It was so much fun.
Yes, dude. You mind me saying this story real quick?
Yeah.
I remember my first day at McDonald's, right? And so I think I was at Sonic at first, and then I transferred to McDonald's or whatever. And anyway, and so your dusty self was working, and so I'm working, I'm doing all this stuff, and you was like, "Hey, yo, Rich, man, we got a couple of things that we need y'all to do. We need you to do." And I'm like, "What's up?" One of them, you was like, "Yo, we need you to mop the freezer."
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, cool. So I get the mop bucket and I fill it up and all this other stuff or whatever. And again, it's a freezer and I'm mopping it and the mop is still sticking to the floor. And I'm freezing in it and I'm mad, and I'm like, golly, man, like this ain't getting clean. This keeps getting stuck. And so it keeps getting stuck. I keep, so the mop is freezing. I'm going back in the bucket, back and forth. Y'all let me do that joint for like 30 minutes, before y'all was like, all right, now just forget that, man. I need you to go empty out the ice machine. And again, y'all, this is McDonald's. Like, they never run out of ice. They may run out of milkshake juice or whatever, but they never run out of ice. And so I'm getting this huge bucket, and they kept me over there for like an hour, hard labor, trying to get this ice out, and it keep refilling. You see, I'm putting no dent in that for like an hour straight. I'm breathing hard, and I'm like, yo, McDonald's gonna get my whole life right. Like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready for this type of work. I didn't know y'all was slinging like this at McDonald's. And dude, after I finished, I'm like, man, it's just as feel as when I started. And all y'all just start bust out laughing, man.
Yep, just not getting any low, because he's like, emptying the ice in like the little a sink or whatever, and like it's like literally filling up as in the middle of him carrying it over there. He's just like, man, this isn't going anywhere. Like, what is going on? And we're
I had a big old bucket. Y'all just sitting there.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking y'all laughing at me because they knew how difficult the job was. They was laughing at me because it was impossible. So I was like, y'all some bum. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Y'all go, man, look, y'all gonna have to see me one day about that, man.
Man, all them hours wasted just.
Bro, for real. I know, right?
It was so fun though, man. It was we had such a blast at that place. And
I agree. Good times, my man.
We had the couple managers that were real hard heads, and then we had a couple of them that just didn't care.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
You want to take a 50-piece nugget home with you? Go ahead.
I know, right?
just horrible.
For
man.
real, 50-piece home.
I
For
swear,
real.
because it was 10 of us that were just high schoolers, and we were usually the night shift. So, it was just horrible, man. It was.
Yeah, I promise you, man, dude. I can't tell you. I'm pretty sure, man. Like I owe McDonald's so much that gun money.
Yes,
I mean, because I'm like, oh yeah, I give me a quadruple cheeseburger. Like, why not?
Yep. Oh yeah.
On the house.
And that was when Jamie got pregnant. That was right. So I was getting the hunger pains that she had. So dude, I gained probably 50 pounds. It was rough.
We eat like kings.
I swear, man. But it was such good times, man. But
yeah, I agree, my guy.
What this is kind of we do a final thoughts as right before we're gonna sign off. So just whatever you've got laid on your heart, man. Just give us a good 4 or 5 minutes of just what you have laid on your heart.
Oh man, dude, I'm in the office or whatever. I'm just cheesing ear to ear, man. It's just man, I'm just remembering just a bunch of stuff, Mike, from remember that one time, man, that we kicked it at your house, for your birthday, man. We had a little sleepover and stuff like that, man. Oh, yeah. And just that stuff, and always kicking it with your mom, bro. And I remember, man, like how excited it was whenever your pop came through, and I'm like, oh, yo, what's up? And I'm excited too, just all of that, just that nostalgia. Of you look back, man, and we didn't have a lot, in an area that there wasn't a lot of ample resources, but man, God had his hand all over us. Like he saw us in Malden, Missouri, bro. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, God, dude, like that was awesome. I'm 35 right now. I'm like, God, you had your hand all over that. And I'm so grateful for childhood and friends and stuff. And so it's just, just talking with you guys, it just make me feel really, really nostalgic, man. And really, man, it's just a blessing, dude. I mean, it's just great talking to you guys, man. And just to fast forward, dude, I mean, it was some folks that we was a part of the youth groups and stuff like that together, man, they fell off, you know what I mean? And it's just great to see, man, that you still madly in love with God, and on top of all of that stuff, man, you're using the gospel inside of you, the Holy Spirit inside of you to reach out to the Holy Spirit inside of others, bro. I love that you're doing ministry, Mike, and giving back to a community that gave so much to us, where God just captured our hearts. So anyway, man, my final thoughts is, man, I'm giving big ups to you, my guy, man. You out there grinding, and no matter where I go, man, I always got a heart for. Man, I'm from Malden, Missouri. That's what I claim. I'm a Green Wave for life, my guy. And I love my town that I grew up in. And then more importantly, man, I just love the people, man, who loves God and who really just want to see that area transformed with the gospel. So, my guy, I'm just grateful for you. Whether that's through youth ministry or podcasts or working at Casey's or whatever that may be. I think it's just beautiful what you're doing, man. And I've been constantly following you, my guy, and what y'all doing. And then, hats off, man, making me smile. So just love you and I appreciate you, man. Man,
I appreciate that, dude. And I miss you, dude. Just kind of thinking of, like you said with that sleepover, man, it was one of the most fond memories in my life.
Yeah.
Just all of us guys, up in my room, crammed up, just goofing around. And man, I really do, man. I miss you, and man, it's been awesome having you on, and I'd love to not only have you on again, but I'd love to next time you do come down to Malden is get you in here and have you in person and get to meet everybody. And
oh man, that's a promise. Matter of fact, the next time I come down in there, man, I'm gonna touch down and give you a call, bro, and got to link up. And also too, man, for you and Jeremiah, I'm linking up with Mike too to get him and Becky out here, bro, but. Man, we want to use this place as a resource, especially for pastors, man. A lot of pastors, man, they need relief.
Yeah.
Man, ministry, dude, the devil be tearing your tail up.
Yeah.
And so, one of the reasons why we have this place is one of the main reasons is so pastors can come, man, come place. You ain't got to worry about nothing, no pay, no nothing. Come out here, man, refresh, man, you and your fam, and so you can roll out. You guys do ministry, and my homeboy, my discipler told me, man, the most important key to ministry is rest, man. And so, man, come out here, man, chill on the lake, my guy, and get a cabin. And so, yeah, so I'll chop it up with you, man. And man, come on out to Winter, man. Love to have you, my guy.
Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome, man. That sounds awesome. Well, I love you, bro.
Love y'all too, man. Y'all keep it up. I'm a fan, my guy.
All right, buddy. Hey, send me a cool picture of you and your family. We're going to do a video for this episode, getting people pumped up and ready for it tomorrow. So, yeah,
all right, we'll do. I got you.
A cool picture. All right, buddy. Love you.
All right. Love you too. Y'all be safe.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.
Man, that's just so
that
awesome.
Was good.
Oh my gosh, man, I miss him, dude. I just thinking about just basketball and growing up together, and we were always on teams together and just hanging out and in same classes and stuff. Man, it was really cool.
It's cool. I could see a smile on your face. It doesn't come out very often, man. Going down memory lane, weren't you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, man, thank you everybody for joining us. This has been a really fun one, man. I think we had a lot of fun with this, and it's good to see my brother over here smiling so big. Hey, remember, if you don't have a home church, come check us out, the Lighthouse here in Dexter, 8:30 outside in the parking lot, 10 o'clock inside. We're like family around here. Love y'all.
Love you.